Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Bengt. Welcome back to another video. In this one, we are talking about the truth about not giving a fuck. Now, about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, I uploaded a video called Stop Giving a Fuck and Watch Magic Happen in Your Life. Now, as of recently, the YouTube algorithm gods have decided to start pushing that video out and putting it in a lot of people's recommendeds. And that video's gotten a lot of traction recently, which is awesome. And I'm thankful for it. It's helped the channel out a lot. Push us over 1,000 subs, which is awesome. For those of you guys that are new here, I appreciate you. Welcome. And I look forward to talking to you guys and making more videos for you guys in the future. But one thing about that video is the comment section is absolutely nuts. And I think that it's pretty fair to say that the comment section is split 50-50 between people that clearly understood the purpose and the intent behind the video. And then there's another handful of people that were obviously confused, kind of missed the forest for the trees, and had a lot to say about not giving a fuck. And, the most common rebuttals, the most common kind of feedback, I guess, was that if you don't give a fuck about anything, well, then you're just going to get shit results and your life's going to suck anyway. And it's impossible. You can't not give a fuck about things because they'll never happen. Like, it's easier to put this in frame with specific examples. So, like, two of the big ones was like going to the gym or relationships or running a business, something like that, where it's like, if you don't give a fuck about going to the gym, then you're never going to go and you're never going to be in shape. You're never going to get results, right? Or if you don't give a fuck about your business, obviously your business is going to fail. Or if you don't give a fuck about relationships or, putting effort into them, you're never going to attract people and you're never going to be able to keep them and maintain a healthy relationship, right? And I totally understand where these people are coming from, but what I think they're really missing was the biggest kind of concept, like the spiritual layer of that last video. So that's what I'm hoping to break down in this one here, is kind of make it very clear and maybe touch upon a couple things that can shine a light on the parts of that video that people were missing, because I do think that there was a certain level of like spiritual awareness that the people that understood the video obviously had, but the people that don't, hopefully I can, frame it in a different way to make it make a little more sense. So to clarify, I don't think that giving a fuck about things is bad. And I think that giving a fuck about something gives you purpose, gives you direction, gives you an angle for life. And obviously, if you have zero desires, if there's zero things that you're interested in or care about that are worth pursuing for you, then yes, you would just be a lethargic potato that would sit around and do absolutely nothing and be a complete waste of a life, right? So for the people that are saying, oh, well, you can't not give a fuck because if you didn't, then you just wouldn't do anything. Yes, I completely understand where you're coming from. However, the biggest point about the video that I think people missed, and I'll hopefully illustrate it a little more intentfully here, is having desires is totally like normal. And I don't know if it's like healthy, like in a perfect world, right? We're all the Buddha and we have zero desires and no attachments to anything. And we can just live this middle way life where, nothing's good, nothing's bad. We don't really care about the, outcomes of certain things. But the biggest thing is, we do have desires. We do have things that drive us. We do have things that we are looking to achieve in life or looking to have. And there are certain base needs that as humans we are fulfilled by, like having a loving relationship. Maybe it's having a business and creating financial opportunities. Maybe it's having a network of people, or just having something like a hobby or a passion or something that you can be involved with and pursue and do that, makes you feel alive and makes you feel like you're exercising your creative abilities or whatever you feel like you're naturally gifted at. The biggest thing that I want to illustrate, the biggest point that I think people missed, is that there's a difference between having desires and having attachments to the outcomes of those desires, right? So wanting something, and we can bring this back to the main examples that people were talking about, which is like going to the gym, relationships, or business, right? When I say don't give a fuck, what I mean by that is removing your attachment, your emotional, your spiritual, your physical, even sometimes attachment, or your egotistical attachment to the outcomes of the desires that you have. For example, someone that wants to get in shape, someone that wants a six-pack, for example, right? Their desire is to have a six-pack, but if they are so attached to the desire of the six-pack, they will go to the gym and they will work hard for 6 weeks. They still won't have a six-pack, and then they will give up and they will quit because they did not achieve the result that they set out to in their mind, because they were attached to the outcome of that thing and not the process of getting to that thing, right? So that's where I was trying to illustrate the point in the last video, where it's like, it's not that having goals or wanting something or wanting to achieve a specific result is bad, but if you are attached to that and only that, you have to understand that what you're doing is you're creating space. You're creating separation between where you are and what you have versus where you want to be and the thing that you want to have. And what you want to do is pull those two things closer together and live, hopefully, in a reality where those two are overlapping and the two of them are happening simultaneously, right? Like, you want to enter the timeline where you have the thing that you want already, and you are just in the process going through the day-to-days to get to that thing and allow it to actually exist in the reality you're experiencing, right? So I know that sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo nonsense, and maybe I've lost a couple people, but really the biggest thing is, like, yes, your life will absolutely suffer if you just give a fuck about nothing, right? That's not what I'm trying to say. However, what you should understand is that the law of detachment works in the way where it's like, you can't not put in the work. You can't not give a fuck about doing the things that will get you to where you want to go, but the not giving a fuck needs to be about the desired outcome of that thing. To summarize it all, right? Whether it be with a relationship, whether it be with business, whether it be with going to the gym. If you want to go to the gym, fall in love with going to the gym and eating healthy. Just make it like the desire should be, I want to go to the gym 4 times a week. Not the goal is, I want a six-pack and boulder shoulders, right? Because those things will take time. And if you don't have the perseverance to commit to the tiny micro tasks that will actually allow you to achieve that bigger thing, you'll never get there. With business, it can't be, I want to make $1 million. It should be, okay, how can I solve a problem? How can I deliver amazing results? And how can I treat my customers the best that I possibly can? How can I deliver an outstanding product or service that genuinely benefits people's lives? And if you focus on those things, the money obviously will come, right? With relationships, it can't be, I want a perfect relationship. It should be, what are the tiny things that I can do on a day-to-day to help me and this person develop and grow closer together that will ultimately net the desire, which is perfect relationship, perfect business, perfect body, health, whatever. Those are the desires of those things. That's what you can't give a fuck about, dude. Don't give a fuck about the big picture thing. Focus on the little stuff, the little tiny things that stack up, that ultimately net you the result that you want. The big thing, don't give a fuck about that, but give a fuck about the little things, man. And again, to kind of link it all back to the spiritual component, and like, if you guys just go look up the law of detachment, maybe this will make more sense. Maybe I'm not explaining it in the most crystal clear way, but basically the stronger emotions and feelings and desires that you have for something, the more that you start to see and recognize the lack of, or the void of, that stuff in your life. And it creates this black hole where, like, basically you start to see all of the lacking, all of the things that you don't have instead of what you do have, and the tools that you can use to get to what you actually want, right? So if you create this distance between where you are and where you want to go, you're creating a lot of roadblocks for yourself, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all this stuff, right? So the goal is to eliminate that distance between you and what you want to, and where you want to go. And the way to do that is to by consistently implement the tiny little things that will actually bring that end goal, that end desire, closer to you and into your actual life, right? Becoming the person that is already established, already has the things that it is that you're after. That is what will hopefully unlock, the things that you actually want out of life. So anyways, guys, I hope that this sheds a little bit more light on the not giving a fuck thing, because a lot of people were were very confused about that. So I wanted to kind of make a little follow-up video and just go a little more in depth and detail and kind of explain a little bit further. Also, that video is like almost 2 years old. So, you know, some of the things that my mind changes, you know what I mean? Like I'm a growing, evolving person too. And, you know, I think a lot of the stuff that I said in that video absolutely stands true. And I think there's a reason why even a year and a half later, that video is still, you know, being shown to people and people are responding to it. But for those of you that maybe missed that one, you can go check it out. Just go to my channel. It's the most viewed video on there. If you're looking for kind of more in depth, or if you want to see like kind of the context to this video. But yeah, guys, hopefully that was helpful for you. I appreciate you watching. Till next time, guys, stay strong, stay blessed, stay dangerous. Peace.